Hello everyone and welcome to another video about Neverwinter, particularly on the Xbox One we're covering today. Now I played in the beta a few weeks ago, played in open beta. This is me just getting around to recording a video about Neverwinter. We finally got that chance to record a video. I know I've been busy lately, been a bit busy, had some things to do lately, and we've been doing some SWTOR stuff as well. But we're going to talk about the Neverwinter beta on Xbox One, and particularly we're going to talk about, can Neverwinter be a successful console MMO, because it's not too badly successful on PC. Now it won't be cross-platform as far as I'm aware. I don't think Microsoft like their games being cross-platform, so certainly it's what stopped Final Fantasy XIV appearing on Xbox 360. Certainly that was the case because the PC and PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 versions are all there on the same platform. Also with Defiance as well, they KO'd that being cross-platform, which would have been quite interesting to play with different console players, just for the fanboy arguments. I'd love to play the game like that, just to see the chat. Would have been hilarious, just to see the console fanboys have a little argument. I always interject into a console fanboy argument by saying, if you just worked harder, you could buy a PC, and then walk away. That's it. Just work harder, buy a PC. But anyway, we're here to talk about Neverwinter on Xbox One. Now, the biggest barrier to Neverwinter's success is the fact that on Xbox One, it is not free to play. Whatever way you slice it, it is not free to play. It's not a free to play game because on Xbox One, it requires Xbox Live Gold, which is a subscription service. So you need Xbox Live Gold to play Neverwinter. Therefore, it's not free to play. So that is one big disadvantage that it has, of course, is that it isn't free to play. PC, it is free to play. You could play it on PC without paying any money up front, and you can get in and play it. So it's not a free to play game. We need to tell Microsoft what free to play is. Free to play is free to play. It's free to download from the Xbox Store. That's what it is. But if you actually want to play it, you're gonna need an Xbox Live Gold subscription. So that is the biggest problem with it. And it's sad because it plays very well with a controller. It really does. That's one of its biggest strengths, is how it plays with a controller. It does have the interface. It does have all the abilities that were well integrated, and it was designed from the ground up to be a reticule-based MMO on PC. Everything you'll notice, most of the keybinds were all around the WASD keys. Q and E were abilities, R was an ability, and you had 1 and 2. And then your at-will powers were generally left and right click. So, that's what 5 buttons, 6 buttons. A controller can cope with that quite easily. You've got your left trigger and your right trigger are your at-will powers. You've got your encounter power is on the face buttons, or your encounter powers. You do have the shift button, which is the LB button. It's LB and shift for your daily LB and X for your daily power by default, which is pretty nice. LB and A is the jump button, which is kind of weird to get used to. I would like it just A as the jump button, to be honest, but it's very, very similar gameplay wise to Dragon Age Origins. In fact, I would say it's slightly better than Dragon Age. Not Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age Inquisition, should we say. It's very, very similar. If you played Dragon Age Inquisition on a console, then you should be fairly familiar with the systems and the setup for the for Neverwinter. So it's very, very similar. The only difference is Dragon Age, you don't have to manually aim, you just target things. So Neverwinter does have that advantage of being a manual aiming game. It is a reticule based game, so if you're playing a range class, it pretty much plays like a third person shooter. Point the reticule at what you want dead, press the triggers, and away you go. That's the basics of it. But it does work very well, surprisingly well. I mean, you could argue surprisingly well, some would argue not surprisingly well. Certainly much better than Terra does with a controller. That was the other reticule-based game that had controller support. It's not available on consoles, Terra, but it did support controller. It was much better with a mouse and keyboard, I thought. again, because the controller, there was just too many buttons on Terra, I think, just to make it work with a controller. That was its biggest problem. The other game that is going to be its biggest kind of rival on consoles is going to be the Elder Scrolls Online. Now, we're yet to see how that will play with a controller. I haven't heard of any betas or anything like that, but the Tamriel Unlimited version launches March 17th. Which is next month. I don't know when this video will go out, but it should be sometime in February. We've got a week left in February to get this video out. So that's going to be its biggest kind of competitor console side, and I haven't tried that with the... I don't think you can use controller on the PC version of Elder Scrolls Online, but we'll definitely check that out. But that's going to be its biggest kind of rival, because they are fairly similar in their gameplay approach. Again, Elder Scrolls is a reticule based combat game similar to Neverwinter, but again, it will be interesting to see. Elder Scrolls is buy to play. Whether it probably will require Xbox Live Gold, I imagine, as well. So it's got the similar problem to Neverwinter. You have to pay a subscription. At least they've dropped the mandatory subscription, so you don't have to pay 2 subscriptions if you're playing on Xbox One. That would have been a disaster, actually, for ESO on that console. The PS4 version apparently doesn't need PlayStation Plus to play it, which is good. That's the thing about the PlayStation 4 that we have to talk about, is that free-to-play is free-to-play on PS4. A lot of the games don't require PlayStation Plus that are free-to-play. I know Warframe doesn't, and Blacklight Retribution on the PS4 certainly do not, but it is a thing. You'd love Microsoft to change it, because I want this game to be successful. I don't know if I'll play it on Xbox One because of that. That's one of the reasons why I don't think I want to play it on the Xbox One, because it's just the biggest barrier on the PC, especially since I have the PC version. I have a PC that's capable of running it. Free to play on the PC, and you know, it's the fact that I don't like the fact that you can't transfer your cash shop purchases from the PC to the Xbox One, so you're gonna have to pick a version and stick to it. That's another thing that is a big shame. It's not like Final Fantasy XIV, where you can just jump into the PS3 and play the same character. You can play the PS4 and then, you know, it's the same character that transfers over, because it's all on the one server. It's all cross-platform. That would be nice to see. Someone did ask that in a video that I did on Neverwinter, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, because Microsoft are very anti-cross-platform. I know, it's I don't get it, to be honest with you, but that's what they do. They did have Shadowrun, which was kind of shit. That was a cross-platform. The only cross-platform Microsoft game that I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, I like the questing system in Neverwinter. I like the way the class played. I played a control wizard. I didn't play any other class. I played a rogue on the PC. That was pretty fun. I didn't get a chance to check out PvP. I did check out a bit of PvE. Checked out the first skirmish, it's called, I think the dungeons are called. And I also checked out the Orc Assault event thing, which was kind of cool. Kind of cool as a control wizard. It's just, it was just tended to be horde mode. It felt just like horde mode. But it was pretty interesting as a control wizard. You're always trying to slow things and, you know, get the slow everything down and kill things. My DPS probably wasn't great, to be honest. I looked at the scoreboard at the end of a couple of them, was like, oh dear, I'm trying to slow things. At least I'm doing the controller role. Hey, and I did get to level 10. I didn't have the time to play it all weekend, so I only got level 10, so I didn't get a chance to get into things like the more advanced roles that you can do. As a control wizard, you can be like a straight up thaumaturge damage dealer, or you could be a controller, I can't remember what that's called, or you can be a sort of I think no, it's not damage over time. It's all about things like exploiting weaknesses and so forth, which sounded interesting. But, you know, I didn't get a chance to get into that. I don't know what the level cap was for the beta, but I did play it, because I work at weekends, so I can't really play that much over weekends. I hate these beta weekends and double XP weekends and things, all these free weekends that you get on Steam, and I can never play the game because I'm always at work for 2 of those days at least. They start on the Friday and finish on the Sunday, and I work on the Friday and I work on the Saturday, so I've only really got the Sunday to check it out. But again, it's very good. I kind of like the quest structure, and the voice acting is not the best, but it's not the worst either. It's pretty cool actually. The only thing that we'll talk about when we talk about bugs is the performance was a little jittery. Particularly when you were grouped. We had a lot of kind of like pauses in the play. I don't know if it was lag, I don't know if it was network lag or, you know, system frame rate lag, but we did suffer a lot of frame rate lag, particularly in Protector's Enclave, although the PC one does suffer from that, so hopefully they can better optimize. It is beta after all, we do expect to find bugs, but the state of the game was overall pretty nice actually. I didn't encounter anything major or game breaking. It wasn't like the open beta of the PC version where you had massive ability lag, like you would click things and nothing would happen. You'd be sitting there clicking your at will powers and just nothing would happen for periods of time, or you would get rubber banding. There was none of the issues from the PC beta, which is good. You know, it's good to see that it is a later build, because the PC beta, which was a few years ago now, did have a lot of those issues at launch. A lot of rolling restarts of the servers. I don't remember the servers being restarted. I played it most of the day on Sunday and a little bit on Friday. So there was no real server restarts, there was no disconnects, there was no crashes. So, you know, all in all very good. Just the odd performance issue and the odd issue with NPCs kind of getting stuck in the environment, like enemies not being able to path their way to you. They would kind of like walk against a barrier and things like that. But those are minor issues, fairly minor for a beta, to be honest with you. And you know, hopefully they get this running well. And I really want it to be successful, because I do like Neverwinter. It is a very good game. And when it first came out, that was my first thought when it first came out. I really want to see this on consoles. It would be nice, again, Microsoft, don't let them down. I mean, they probably paid for some sort of exclusivity, Microsoft, I'd imagine. So, you know, make it free to play, get people playing it. It is a very good game. Whether it will have the long-term success is debatable again, you know. It's that at least it's better than Destiny. Put it that way. It's a lot better than Destiny. Destiny is a piece of shit. It's not an MMO. Destiny. They say it's not an MMO. It's like a really bad attempt at an MMO. It's not like, oh, it's not an MMO like Bungie were saying. It's a shared world shooter. Yeah, shared world things are MMOs essentially in my book, or you know, that's what I define as an MMO. Shared world. It's online, always online, doesn't work offline. It's an MMO. It's not, well, it's not a massive, it's a MO, it's a multiplayer online game. It's not very massive. I think there's like, what, 16 players per instance in Destiny. We'll do a video on Destiny later on, but yeah, Neverwinter has a hell of a lot more people on screen, hence the performance issues that we're having. So hopefully, you know, they can get to the bottom of that, they can fix it by the time it's released. Doesn't have a firm release date as of now, and I don't know when they're going to be doing another beta, but certainly I would be interested in taking part in another beta. We'll probably try a different class next time, but yeah, I had fun on the beta. It was a good experience actually. It was interesting, and hopefully when it comes out they fix those little bugs. But again, certainly a game worth checking out if you own an Xbox One and have an Xbox Live Gold subscription. I would check it out. It's not even a very big download, well the beta wasn't anyway. So yeah, go to the Xbox store, check it out at least. Check out Warframe as well if you're an Xbox Live Gold subscriber. That's a pretty decent free-to-play game. But it's nice to see that game because on consoles. I would like to see more MMOs make it to consoles. It seems to be a theme for 2015 is that MMOs are coming to consoles now, which is pretty interesting actually, because we're getting the consoles now have the infrastructure to support these MMOs, and it's again a very good thing. It's joining the likes of DCUO and Final Fantasy XIV on consoles. Would be nice to see it on PlayStation 4 as well, you know, just to have that little bit of competition. Again, Microsoft won't allow it to be cross-platform, which is a shame really, and yeah, that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon. Goodbye.
was a loyal nasher. Of course, I've left me to die down here. I don't know him.